This is The Nick Hart Show. The Nick Hart Show, presented by the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, is made possible by AgriGold, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Brett's Car Care, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors Incorporated, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, the Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, Hip Dentistry, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Pole Concrete Construction, Pro Rehab, Roberts Boring, Trenching and Excavating, Robert Goob Vermillion, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Tembarge Seed, TYFL, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home, Stodgel Monuments, in memory of Darwin and Eric Callis, by Vertical Tile Incorporated, Wash Boss, Young's Auto Body, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, by Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Like Transport, Make Your Mark, Scherer Monuments, Southern Indiana Tire, United Fidelity Bank, Steve and Teresa Dove, by Air Evac Life Team, Ameriprise Financial, Jeremy Overton, by Engermeyer Electric, Bandit Ag LLC, Bryant Auto Center Incorporated, by Center for Pediatric Therapy, by Country Barns, by Daywig Meats of Hobstadt, Drosty's Jewelry Shops, Edward Jones Financial Advisor Jason Rainey, by Fort Branch Car Wash, Full Metal Armory, by grandparent of Isaac O'Neill, Marianne O'Neill, by Heritage Federal Credit Union, Heritage Petroleum LLC, Jarbo Tax Service, Casey Gray, Fuquay State Farm, by Cook Air, L&B Boutique, Little Miracles, Matt Walker Insurance, by Meisler Trailer Rentals, National Vet Help, Ripco Systems, by Titan Construction Partners, Whitledge Tree Service LLC, and by the Wabash Valley College Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department. Now, The Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash.
Welcome to The Nick Hart Show, along with the Gibson Southern Titan head coach. I'm Kyle Peach. Thanks for joining us on 89.1 The Bash, and also thanks to the Gibson Southern Football Boosters for making this broadcast possible each and every night during the each and every week, I should say, during the football season. And Coach, personally, I don't know that I've gotten to get together with you and celebrate the state championship from a year ago. Special times, and obviously you never want to forget that, but also just trying to put that a little bit into the past and start to focus on where the Titans go into the future here in the 2022 campaign. Obviously, when you come off a state championship, you lose a ton, you lose a lot. But you've got a lot back, a lot of guys that especially know what it takes and knows how to get there to be in contention in the postseason again. So kind of talk about the mindset of getting this team beyond last year's success and focused on what this team can do this year.
Well, I think these guys have done a great job. I think you worry about a hangover whenever you come off of a state championship run, but credit to our guys. We've really had the opposite response, and I think it helps. A lot of the guys that were a big part of last year's championship team are gone, and it was going to take a lot of new starters, and so there was a lot of opportunities available out there for guys in the off season. But when we started up the weights program shortly after the state championship, we were off and rolling, and I really have been proud of the progress we've made, from December until now. And then I think especially when you see how young we are, inexperienced on top of young, because there's some older guys that don't have a whole lot of Friday night experience. This is probably the most we've improved through the course of a summer in the beginning part of a football season since I've been here. So I think, you get worried about, guys kind of, reliving last year and not knowing what it takes. And to be honest, we've kind of had the opposite effect. Our guys have worked really hard and made great improvements, and we still have a long way to go. But I'm very proud of the progress that we've made since last year.
Well, Coach, we all know that you've built the Gibson Southern program into one that doesn't rebuild, it reloads. So talk to us about that reloading process and some new names perhaps for Titan fans to pay attention to as the season gets going.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of new names. This is, I think, other than my first year here, this is probably the youngest and most inexperienced we've been. But I do think we have a lot of talented guys. So we got to kind of get through some of those mental type of things. And one thing we'll find about this week that we've been talking about a lot is, I think one of the biggest jumps you have to make from being a freshman or a JV player to a varsity player is the preparation that goes on during the week. For a freshman or a JV game, you just kind of show up and roll out the ball and you play. All the details that go into, scouting reports, and when they do this, we're going to do that. And that preparation that goes on Monday through Thursday, getting ready for Friday night, that's something that we're going to experience for the first time this week, and we have to do a great job of to get ready for Friday night. We're playing a good football team, and so we got to be prepared whenever we go up there. But I think a lot of people, quarterback's a big position. Tanner Boyd's going to get the start there on Friday at quarterback for us. He was our JV quarterback last year and got to come in and get some varsity experience, when we had some big leads last year. And, we do have a good core back of guys that have some experience. So I looked it up before I came on. We have 8 guys back that started at least one game last year. And some of those guys may have just started one, but we have 8 guys that at least started a football game, have been through that Monday through Thursday preparation, getting ready for Friday. And but that means you got 14 that haven't. So we're, going through all that. We had a scrimmage with Evansville Central last Friday, and we treat that like a preseason game a little bit. Not a lot of preparation for Central, and we don't play a whole lot of plays. But I thought we executed really clean on both sides of the ball, and we played fast and we played physical, and so I left that really pleased with where we were at for kind of our first Friday night experience.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that scrimmage matchup and some key takeaways for you. I know I think I saw in the Evansville Courier and Press you were complimentary of your line and talking about the line play being a strength heading into the season. What were things you saw that you were expected to see, and things that may have been a pleasant surprise coming out of the scrimmage game?
Well, I think the biggest thing I was pleased with, it's only the second time this year we've been in full pads. We practice in helmets and shoulder pads mostly. Quick whistle, try and keep guys healthy. So I think, when you go into a game like that and it's the first time against somebody else we've been in full pads, I was kind of worried about, when you have a veteran group, it's not so much, but an inexperienced group, how are we going to tackle and how are we going to pursue the football? Because when you have a quick whistle and practice and stuff, you're not pursuing the football like you would in a game type scenario. And I thought we did both of those things very well. I loved our pursuit on defense and what we were able to do there. And it was just a really clean night. And not to say there's things we don't have to fix, but I was really pleased walking away from that scrimmage. And you mentioned up front, I think right now the strength of our football team is our defensive line. They've had a great offseason. There's a couple of guys back over there that have played a lot of varsity football and some newcomers that are talented. So I think that's really the strength of our football team right now as we head into week 1. And I thought they played really well in the scrimmage on Friday.
Compare and contrast, and this may not be a fair question, but what will the style of play look like this year as compared to last year when Titan fans get their first chance to see you guys in action?
It's going to be a lot the same. We'll run the ball a little bit more and be a little bit more balanced. But we're not putting in the wishbone or the power eye or anything of that nature. We are who we are. We're going to throw the ball around and play with tempo and all those type of things. But I think you'll see a lot more balance out of us on the offensive side, and defensively, much of the same. Out of our 4-3 look, schematically, you're not going to see a lot of changes out of us. It just the running game will be involved a little bit more than what it was last year.
Sure. As we continue on here, we're going to take our first break of the Nick Hart Show. When we come back, we'll get the coach to talk a little bit more specifically into personnel. We'll run through the offense, the defense, the special teams. We'll preview what the Pocket Athletic Conference may shape up to look like this year, and we'll give you the scout as best we can on Terre Haute South. This is the Nick Hart Show continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Nick Hart Show, presented each week by the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, including AgriGold, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Brett's Car Care, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, DuBois County Garage Doors Incorporated, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, the Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, Hip Dentistry, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Pole Concrete Construction, and Pro Rehab. Support provided by Wabash General Hospital. Whether you're a competitive athlete or you just want to enjoy a stroll around the neighborhood, the WGH Orthopedic and Sports Medicine team is ready to help you get back to moving through life with greater comfort and ease. WGH offers comprehensive orthopedic services from the time of injury or diagnosis throughout the treatment and rehabilitation process. If you're suffering from an orthopedic problem, no matter how minor or significant, the WGH board-certified experts can be reached at 618-263-6400.
Welcome back to the Nick Hart Show. We're going to get into our preseason look at the Gibson Southern Titans team for the 2022 campaign. And Coach, we'll just, start on the offensive side and work our way through. Let's take a look at the starters for the Titans here in 2022, beginning on the offensive unit.
Yeah, I'm going to, on some of these, I may have more, like we have some guys that maybe rotate on Friday, but up front, we'll start up front because that's where it counts. We got Jacob Bales. He started all 15 games for us. He'll be at left tackle. Spencer Staggs at right guard. He's a freshman that's had a good year so far for us. Tegan Baker will be at center. Zach Rose will be right guard. Zach started 3 or 4 games, I think 4 games for us last year. And then at right tackle will be Jackson Adams. At receiver, got Cole McKee. Cole was our second leading receiver until he got hurt for the season in week 7 last year. So Cole brings a lot back to us. Isaac O'Neal is another receiver. He started all 15 games for us last year. Michael Herron will play in the slot. Zach Butler also at receiver. And then, Sean DeLong is kind of a slash for us. He played started all 15 games at running back last year. He's going to play running back and in the slot for us this year. And then Devin Roberts at running back and Tanner Boyd at quarterback.
All right, so there's a look at the offensive unit. Let's switch to the other side of the ball and go through the starters on the defensive side.
Yeah, and on defense, we talked about our D-line. I think we're as deep as and as good as we have been in a long time. And we've lost a DN. Jackson Redding, got hurt in preseason camp. I'm not sure when or if we get him back, but, he's a very talented football player that we're going to miss. But on the D-line, we got really 6 guys. We'll have a 6-man rotation going there. Brock Falkwer and Ethan Ziliak at D-end, and then interior guys, Ty Whitledge, Brody Clem, who's also a freshman, Garrett Helt, and Brayton Reinhardt. And then linebacking core, Our Sam is Bo Rose, and then our two interior guys are Luke Foster and TJ Lewis. And then in the secondary at corner, we have Tristan Boyd and Gabe Bryant. And then at safety, Mason Scheller, Seth Parsons, and Zach Foster, kind of in a three-man deal back there. So those are the guys that are going to, line up week one for us.
Kind of like the fact that you can rotate some guys through and keep some fresh legs out there, especially early part of the season. That's certainly good news to hear. Let's talk about special teams now. Obviously, kicking game, a big part of the game of football. So walk us through your special team.
Yeah, Cam Novotny will handle the kicking and the punting for us. Cam kicked off for us some last year as a freshman. So he's a sophomore, and he's really been kicking the ball well throughout the beginning part of the season. So he's done a great job.
All right, so that's a look at the Titan kicking game. We're going to take our next break. When we come back here on the Nick Hart Show, we'll preview the action of the Pocket Athletic Conference, get you set for what the league may shape up to be here in the 2022 campaign. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us for the Nick Hart Show. It's presented each week by the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, made possible by Robert's Boring, Trenching, and Excavating, Robert Goob Vermillion, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Tim Barge Seed, TYFL, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home, Stodgel Monuments, in memory of Darwin and Eric Callis, by Vertical Tile Incorporated, Wash Boss, Young's Auto Body, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, by Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solomon Photography, Like Transport, Make Your Mark, Scherer Monuments, Southern Indiana Tire, United Fidelity Bank, Steve and Teresa Dove, by Air Evac Life Team, and by Ameriprise Financial, Jeremy Overton.
Do you know what it takes to be a warrior? You have to be hardworking. Make sure you're giving your best every day.
You have to lead, guide others to the path of success.
You have to be brave, be able to stand up for what you believe in.
At Wabash Valley College, we're able to bring the best out of you, even if you don't have these skills. It's time to be a warrior. I'm a warrior.
I am a warrior.
I am a warrior.
I'm a warrior. Are you? Call Wabash Valley at 618-262-8641.
Back here on the Nick Hart Show, we get set to talk about the Pocket Athletic Conference, and here's the lineup of games for the first Friday of the regular season. Boonville will be at Paoli. Forest Park is at Princeton. Mount Vernon's at Heritage Hills in a conference matchup. North Posey's at South Spencer. Those are the only two conference games on the night. Meanwhile, Riverton Park visits Pike Central. Tell City is at Perry Central. Washington is at Southridge, and of course the Titans up at Terre Haute South. Coach, as you look up and down the field of the PAC, especially we look at the big school division in which the Titans are a member, along with Boonville, Heritage Hills, Mount Vernon, Princeton, and Washington. How do you see the league shaping out this year?
I think it's going to be really competitive. I think, you look at last year, and we were obviously older and very senior-led group, and I think everybody else in the league was pretty young last year. So, now we're kind of in an off cycle where, like, now I feel like everybody else is going to be older and experienced, and we're going to be young. So, I think there's a lot of teams. I think last year you look at, Mount Vernon and Boonville and Heritage Hills, and they all played each other, within a couple of points throughout. And, they all bring back certain levels of guys, but I think it's going to be a really competitive league this year, and really deep, and that's what we want. You're going to have to play well, throughout the course of the conference schedule to win it, and it's one of the reasons why we go out and try and play who we do in the non-conference, is to help prepare us for those big games that come later on, and then obviously the playoffs as well.
Obviously, you talk about the strength of schedule for the Titans, the 5A Terre Haute Southball Club this week. We stay in 5A at week 2 with New Albany at home, and then South Warren, Kentucky, and Southridge, the remaining non-conference slate there for the Titans. So a loaded field, a loaded schedule, and I know that you want to get out and you want to play the best to be the best, and I like that philosophy.
Yeah, I think it especially for a young group. I think a lot of coaches, when they're good, want to go out and play, and I think we are good this year. But I think that it's going to make our young guys, our inexperienced guys, grow up fast. If we were playing teams that we're more talented than, we're not going to learn some of the lessons that we're going to get to learn here in the first few weeks of the season. And we got to come out. We got to prepare this week to have a chance to win on Friday night. I think, Terre Haute South went 1-9 last year. They play in a really tough league. They played some teams really, really tough. Like you watch their Brebeuf game from last year. I think it ended up being 33-7, and that's obviously who we played in the state finals. It felt a lot closer than that, as the game went on. And Terre Haute South really has some playmakers. So if we, give up, they have big playability. And so, we have to be really disciplined in what we do, or we're going to give up some big plays. And that just kind of goes back to the strength of schedule thing. Like we have to play well. We have to pay attention to detail and do a good job. And in turn, that's going to make us better. And I've kind of always argued that I don't think playing necessarily a tougher schedule makes you better. I think it's everything that goes into the week of playing somebody that can beat you makes you better. And we got to have a great week of practice, and that's going to make us better as the season goes on.
Well, that's a look a little bit into the Titans schedule for the year. We've got one final segment to squeeze in, so we're going to take our final break of the Nick Hart Show. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Terre Haute South. That's as the Nick Hart Show continues. Stay with us.
The Nick Hart Show is brought to you by Engermeyer Electric, Banded Ag LLC, Bryant Auto Center Incorporated, by Center for Pediatric Therapy, by Country Barns, by Daywig Meats of Hobstadt, Drosty's Jewelry Shops, Edward Jones Financial Advisor Jason Rainey, by Fort Branch Car Wash, Full Metal Armory, by grandparent of Isaac O'Neill, Marianne O'Neill, by Heritage Federal Credit Union, Heritage Petroleum LLC, Jarbo Tax Service, Casey Gray, Fuquay State Farm, by Cook Air, L&B Boutique, Little Miracles, Matt Walker Insurance, by Meisler Trailer Rentals, National Vet Help, Ripco Systems, by Titan Construction Partners, Whitledge Tree Service LLC, and by Wabash Valley College.
Hey high school seniors.
Who are you?
I'm a Wabash Valley Warrior. Are you still trying to decide on where you want to go to college?
Maybe, maybe not.
Well, Wabash Valley is the place to go.
I'm listening.
We are among the most affordable colleges in the region, which puts more money in your pockets.
We all want money.
We offer all sorts of different degree opportunities, such as nursing, broadcasting, early childhood education, diesel mechanics, and much more.
This sounds too good to pass up.
Call and set up an appointment today at 618-262-8641.
I'd be stupid not to do it, right?
WVC?
Back here with Titan coach Nick Hart on the Nick Hart Show. We get you set for the Titans Week 1 season opener on the road up at Terre Haute South, taking on the Braves. Coach already alluded to the fact this is a team that obviously plays in 5A. They've played some impressive opponents, including Brebeuf last year. They're 1-9 a year ago, but records can be deceiving, especially when you're playing a team that is so much bigger than you are potentially in terms of at least access to students to get on the roster. What more can you tell us about Terre Haute South and the challenges they'll present?
Well, I think, we've gone back. We've watched a lot of their stuff from last year to try and get a good idea schematic-wise of what they do. With this being our first time playing them. And then we did trade scrimmages, to get a little bit of a look at each other. They have a great back, returning 1,000-yard rusher from last year. He's a big kid. He's 6'1", 195. And he looks great in the open field. You kind of think 6'1", 195. He's more of like a bruiser. But he runs really well in the open field. He had caught a screen pass for a 60-yard touchdown in their scrimmage. So I think it kind of starts with them. They have a sophomore quarterback that throws the ball around really well, and some athletes in the slot and outside that you can tell, make big plays and can run. And obviously it was a limited thing we saw since it was a scrimmage. But, just some guys that can really play and can really hit home runs on the offensive side of the ball. So I think it's really important for us to to keep them in front of us, make them drive the field and not give up big plays. And I think they're capable of driving the field, but we have to make them do that and earn that and not let them hit home runs and beat us throughout the course of the night. And then, defensively, I thought they did a really good job in their scrimmage, really aggressive, tackled well, did a good job in space. They did a good job of keeping everybody in front of them and limiting big plays. So, they have a lot of talent. And, I think they're going to have a lot better year this year with the kids that they have returning. I know they had a transfer in that's helping them out a lot. So it's, a great challenge for us week one out of the gate. And, we'll know a lot about our team, when we get on the bus and head back home on Friday night. And hopefully it's with a win. But either way, we're going to be better for it, and we'll learn a lot about ourselves.
If you were to identify keys for the Titans this week, what are those keys to coming away with that win on the road?
I think number one we kind of talked about is limiting big plays. They have an athletic advantage over us, with some of their skill guys. And so, limiting big plays. And, if they throw, a hitch, making it an 8-yard gain and not an 80-yard gain, whenever they get in space on us. I think that's key number one. And then I think this is kind of coach talk, but I mean, week one, turnovers, kicking game, whether it be bad snaps or bad protection or something, it seems to be the time of year when the kicking game proves to be the most important, the most amount of mistakes are made. So I think those three things, will help determine the outcome of the game on Fridays: big plays, turnovers, and we don't have to be great in the kicking game. We just need to not make mistakes. And if they do make a mistake in the kicking game, is to be able to take advantage of it.
All right, keys to success for Friday night. Obviously, we want to see the visitor side filled with Titan fans up there. Kickoff is at 6:30 local time, so note that 6:30 Gibson Southern time on Friday night. It's a 7:30 Eastern time start up at Terre Haute South. If you can't make it up, you can listen to our broadcast on 89.1. Pregame show will begin around 6:15. Kickoff again at 6:30 on Friday night. And, of course, join us here for the Nick Hart Show every Tuesday night at 7 on 89.1 The Bash. Coach, good to see you, and good luck. We'll see you on Friday night.
All right, thanks.
That is Titan coach Nick Hart. We'll have the broadcast for you on Friday night. This has been the Nick Hart Show.
Thanks for joining us for the Nick Hart Show, presented each week by the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, including Agrigold, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Brett's Car Care, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors Incorporated, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, the Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, Hip Dentistry, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Pole Concrete Construction, Pro Rehab, Roberts Boring, Trenching and Excavating, Robert Goob Vermillion, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Timbarge Seed, TYFL, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home, Stodgel Monuments, in memory of Darwin and Eric Callis, by Vertical Tile Incorporated, Wash Boss, Young's Auto Body, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, by Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solomon Photography, Like Transport, Make Your Mark, Scherer Monuments, Southern Indiana Tire, United Fidelity Bank, Steve and Teresa Dove, by Air Evac Life Team, Ameriprise Financial, Jeremy Overton, by Engermeyer Electric, Bandit Ag LLC, Bryant Auto Center Incorporated, by Center for Pediatric Therapy, by Country Barns, by Daywig Meats of Hobstadt, Drosty's Jewelry Shops, Edward Jones Financial Advisor Jason Rainey. By Fort Branch Car Wash. Full Metal Armory. By grandparent of Isaac O'Neill, Mary Ann O'Neill. By Heritage Federal Credit Union. Heritage Petroleum LLC. Jarbo Tax Service. Casey Gray, Fuquay State Farm. By Cook Air. L&B Boutique. Little Miracles. Matt Walker Insurance. By Meisler Trailer Rentals. National Vet Help. Ripco Systems. By Titan Construction Partners. Whitledge Tree Service LLC. And by the Wabash Valley College Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department.